Okay, welcome back, everybody. You're watching the Premier League Season 3 Absolute Legends versus Moscow 5. Now, this is game number 2 in a best-of-3 series. Moscow 5 currently holding a 1-0 lead. Absolute Legends have got to win this one, or they are in a bit of trouble. They will lose a third match, I believe. Moscow 5, they're looking to notch a second win on the ladder. Although this time around they do have the first pick. They're on the Radiant side. Moscow 5 now on the Dire. They ran a ganking lineup last match. Didn't really work out for them because basically Moscow 5 just ran a huge AoE teamfight oriented lineup and just balled up, pushed, and finished things up pretty easily. And generally the laning phase for AL was really, really weak for them. They couldn't, they basically, Darkseer handled the Void even outnumbered. He basically made sure Void didn't get as farmed as he could, did not get as much free farm as he could. The tri-lane for Moscow 5 completely crushed, and I do not mean anything short of crushed, the solo Bounty Hunter, and it was an aggressive tri-lane too, completely crushed that. Bounty Hunter could get no farm, and in the mid lane as well, Vigos did not exactly completely ruffle stomp the Queen of Pain either. In fact, she did pretty well. In fact, she was ahead most of the time in terms of last hits. So when it came down to it, Moscow 5, their ganking lineup, rather Absolute Legends, their ganking lineup never gained any traction at any point and just slowly got choked out of the match. Bans though opening up. Moscow 5 decided to ban the Darks this time around. Absolute Legends getting rid of Linnea once again, the Templar Assassin. I'm kind of expecting, oh no, Batrider not being banned out this time. They will actually ban the Leshrac, interestingly enough. I have not seen this hero in about a week and a half, 2 weeks. Just seems to have sort of fallen off, especially with a few of the other picks getting mixed in. A lot of people really starting to love that Batrider. And of course, Rubik has really been getting some love as well. In fact, I'm just wondering if we'll see a Crystal Maiden. Of course, she had a slight buff in the terms of course, a few items that she enjoys getting a little bit cheaper, and of course, the Brilliance Aura becoming much stronger for herself. So, of course, she's kind of hungry in the mana department because she tends to spam her spells a lot, so this just lets her spam quite a bit more. And her spells really, they hurt. They are quite nasty spells early on. This is why a lot of people favor the Nuke build. People have really diverted from the old Brilliance Aura build where they went for maxing out the Brilliance Aura ASAP, and it really just went, a lot of people just completely skip the aura altogether, or maybe get 1 or 2 levels in it, but that really helps her out in terms of mana regen. But Batrider will be banned by Moscow 5. Absolute Legends have the first pick here. I'm just wondering if we'll see another. I don't think we'll see another Night Stalker. She's really just not that popular anymore. I was definitely surprised by the Night Stalker pick. I really don't like Night Stalker in this current metagame. I feel that he's just too ineffective and there are better gankers available. Rubik though, the first pick for AL, they will decide to snap that up once again. I'm kind of assuming that in this case they will be running Rubik as a... Well, I said they might be a solo hero last time around, but seeing as they ran him as a support last match instead, then he probably is going to be one of their primary supports once again. But that'll depend. Whether or not they play him like that depends on the coming pick. Because of course Rubik is flexible, so one of the great things, not only is he just an all-round awesome hero to have, he's a very flexible hero. So when you've got the first pick, he's a hero that's fantastic to pick up first because he gives away nothing. This is the kind of thing we used to see Windrunner always pick for. She'd always be that first pick there just because teams go, you know what, pick Windrunner, she'll fit absolutely anything, and we don't give any of our ideas for our lineups away. And it allows us to adapt and counter-pick against our opponents. Moscow 5 now with their double pick. What will they decide to... Well, they might decide to wombo combo something, or they might just decide to pick up a couple of heroes, maybe grab a support and a Suicide Soul. So we get the Jakiro, there's a good support. Maybe they'll get one of their solo mids, one of their carries, we'll see. Generally speaking, the carries kind of get left off after the third pick. Or if they get the second pick, they'll pick them at the third pick, or they'll wait to the last couple of picks so you don't get some really, really nasty counter pick against your carry. As we saw last match, the Void lane against the Darkseer lane, it wasn't so much a counter pick, it just worked out that way because how they rotated the lanes. It didn't work out for Void, he just could not get near that farm area. And they've decided to go with Jakiro just for general support there, and Moscow 5 have then picked the Bounty Hunter as a general suicide solo. Absolute Legends though, going for an early push lineup. They are going to try and make things, of course, Undying, his Tombstone. The zombies are ridiculous during the mid game. They are so painful, it's not funny. And it comes down to the fact that Tombstone is actually pretty hard to get rid of. Unless you've got a carry who can kill it in 2-3 hits, it is actually pretty annoying to try and get rid of it during the mid game. Especially when you've got a couple of melee heroes against it as well. Or a couple of like low damage range supports like Jakiro and Chen really just don't do squat to it. So, you know, the zombies in the mid game are really going to be quite frustrating. But that said, towards the late game, they don't really do a whole lot. But during the mid game, Undying, not only does he amplify a lot of damage, cause a lot of damage, but he's extremely difficult to kill. But towards the late game, he can, you know, get killed by a couple of 600, 800 damage crits, and then his Tombstone barely lasts for a few seconds in a fight, so he really scales off in effectiveness. But up to about that 30-35 minute mark, Undying is the absolute worst thing, one of your worst nightmares. I'm just wondering if we're going to see him used in a Trident, or if they're planning to try and farm him in this solo offlane. I have actually seen it done before, the Undying taking that solo offlane. It doesn't really work if you've got a really aggressive dual or tri-lane. He still tends to get his head kicked in against that, but if it's a fairly passive lane, like say there's a jungler like Enigma busy doing his own thing in there, and it's just maybe say something like a Faceless Void and Jakiro, they can't really gank him all that efficiently, so they'll just generally leave him to his own devices there. But continuing on with the bans, Absolute Legends have banned Invoker. I think that makes perfect sense. Invoker is really frustrating if you're trying to push early because, of course, the Quas Wex Invoker. The EMP and Tornado is really good at counter pushing or just fending people off when they try and push in against the tower. And, of course, if something like Undying gets hit by an EMP blast, it saps most of his mana, and he's quite a greedy hero. Same for Tidehunter. They lose their mana pool. They suddenly cannot do squat during a fight. The Venomancer also being banned by Moscow 5. They do have a very gank-happy hero there in the form of Bounty Hunter. They might be planning for a couple more gank-oriented heroes. I mean, the trademark hero for Moscow 5, going back 3 months or so ago, was, of course, the Night Stalker, but he really, like we saw last match, just not that awesome anymore, I feel, so I don't think we'll see that. Broodmother being banned by Moscow 5, though, I don't blame them there. She's a pain in the ass. Although that said, Jakiro is one of those heroes who, with spamble AoE, Jakiro is a hero who can fend her off. That said, he's most likely going to be busy in his own lane, supporting in a different lane, supporting a carry, or basically roaming around the map ganking. So he won't be able to keep his eyes on the Broodmother at all times. The bans, though, continued on for AL. They have decided to ban out the Lone Druid. Outside of the Chinese teams, I really haven't seen Lone Druid hit his stride all that much. I don't know if they really need to ban it against the Moscow 5 all that badly, but you know what? That's what they decided to get rid of. Also, they have banned up the Brewmaster as well, making sure that they don't have that huge teamfight oriented hero, which definitely you don't want something like that. You don't want Brewmaster jumping in the middle of the fight, slamming, thunderclapping someone and then popping out and then either taking Undying or Tidehunter or both out of the fight before they can pop their spells off. That would be a huge deal breaker.
Of pain.
Now, Queen of Pain being picked up by Absolute Legends. They're going to try and have the AoE firepower in their time. Absolute Legends going for that teamfight potential. Of course, Queen of Pain, if she snowballs, can semi-carry quite nicely. Moscow 5, though, they've got the Chen, got the Jakiro. I think they're also going to try and push their lane. Jakiro's not too bad at pushing with Liquid Fire. Chen, of course, great for the 2 to 4 minute pushes as well with his creep. Comes out of the jungle, sets up a gank, gets a kill and pushes in. Something like Tidehunter, Undying, if they're trying to solo against it, they are definitely vulnerable. Rubik also is a hero that sometimes solos in the offlane, and again, quite vulnerable to those ganks. He's not that hard to kill. None of those heroes have a particularly great escape mech either. The question is, what hero is going to be farmed? Is going to be like babysat by that Jakiro? It's probably going to be Chen, Jakiro up in that top lane, of course, Chen in the jungle. And the question is, which one will they farm? Will they go for something like an anti-mage? They could indeed try something like that, or they might just go for something a little bit more aggressive. And this is the kind of lineup I would say even you could throw in a potential semi-carry like Leshrac into, but of course Leshrac hasn't been that popular. In fact, Death Prophet has received a couple of buffs. Her Exhaust System now, at level 2 and 3, does pop out extra spirits, so again, she's kind of level hungry as long as Jakiro sort of made sure he stuck to pulling. He kept his nose clean to the lane, just kept it pulling, but it's Razor, and of course Razor did get a buff. His ultimate now hits a little bit more frequently, and he kind of fits the bill. He's got a good nuke, he can steal a lot of damage very early on, and he's also got a decent teamfight presence with his ultimate as well, so we'll see what they can do with him. And of course, Chen, Razor naturally builds into sort of a tanky role. He lets his skills add damage and just deal damage during the fights, and he just sort of then builds into tanky on as he picks himself up. He'll go for stuff like, he'll try and grab himself stuff like a BK. He'll generally grab, I think, a Vanguard first and might go into a BKB after that, but oh boy, so this is definitely a different pick here from Moscow 5, but I'm interested to see how Razor works under these new buffs, see how good he is. And they are definitely picking heroes that are... I like the fact that they're picking heroes who can fight early on. That is the main thing. If they pick something like a hard carry, like a really hard carry, like a Void or an Anti-Mage, that could be disastrous. If Moscow 5 put on the pressure again, won the laning phase, kept pressure in the enemy jungle, made sure that, say, the Anti-Mage or Void just could not farm quickly, they would probably get all the outer towers down and then just push in before Absolute Legends could possibly get... Moscow 5 could possibly get farmed. But Moscow 5, it looks like they're going to be up against a Tiny there, as that's the final pick for Absolute Legends. This looks like a potential Tiny tri-lane then. It may be... I think it's going to be Rubik, Tidehunter, Tiny in the tri-lane, Undying the solo off-lane, and Queen of Pain in the solo mid. It could be a potential... No, it's not going to be a dual lanes. No, I really doubt dual lanes actually. No, not with 3 melee heroes.
5 seconds remaining.
Now, a Tiny tri, I haven't seen this in a while. I think they're going to go for an... I get the feeling that this is going to be an offensive trial. Tiny, Tidehunter, and Rubik together in the top lane. They'll be taking an offensive trial up against Jakiro and Razor. Now, this will be problematic for them. They will have to watch out for this. Razor, of course, is kind of quick, but they're moving it like they're up against 2 effective stuns and a slow. That could be quite problematic for them. It could be enough to bring them down if they can get the gank. Like I said this last night, if they can get the ganks off, that will really cripple the Moscow 5's trials. But if they don't, Moscow 5 are going to get ahead on levels, and once they get ahead on levels, Absolute Legends are in a whole world of pain. But let me just call the players here. So for Absolute Legends on the Radiant side, we have Come With Me playing Tiny, Screen the stand-in playing Undying, Tsar, another stand-in playing Rubik, Freezer on the Tidehunter, and Vigos playing the Queen of Pain, who will be solo limiting with that. For the Dire side, Moscow 5, we have Dread playing Jakiro, Solo playing Windrunner, Sedoi playing the Bounty Hunter, and Nexus playing Razor, and Stalliana on the Chen. Windrunner, of course, their final pick, likely to be taking that Suicide solo. That is generally where she gets sent. Every now and then we see the solo mid Windrunner, but in this case... Oh, hang on, wait a minute. Solo's playing her. Where is Sedoi, then? Oh, wait a minute. No, of course, they've got Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter will be actually that, of course, will actually be that Suicide solo. Windrunner going to be the Yamato style. Solo mid Windrunner. Alright, then. We saw one of these last night as well. We're going to see the Windrunner solo mid here instead of suiciding. And, of course, with a few levels and a bit of farm, she's actually really... Oh, wait a minute. Where is she going? She's got a shield. She's just going to camp the bottom rune. Meanwhile, though, it is going to be an offensive screen up here. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay, no, actually, it's going to be Freezer. Freezer going bottom. Oh, okay, fair enough. I suppose in this situation, it does make sense, of course. In a 3v3 situation, Screen, of course, can steal a lot of health there with his Decay. And then, of course, he does make his lane. And, of course, like the zombies, the more people who are present around the tombstone, the more effective it is. See an Ice Path running there, just harass. Of course, it is very, very cheap on terms of mana. In fact, hang on, wait a minute. That's supposed to cost 90 mana now. Either the tooltip hasn't updated, or 335. Huh. Okay, I'm pretty sure that is meant to cost 90 mana now, if memory serves me correctly. I could be wrong. Somebody want to double check that quickly? Call out in the chat whether it's 90 or 75 still, but I'm pretty sure the 7.76 changes should have come through on that. Never mind anyway. So it's going to turn out Screen. This is going to make it very difficult for Chen and Jakiro to try and get stuck in, because Screen basically what he can do is he can just charge in, throw it in the tombstone, and they can just fight. With the double stuns here, Tiny stun, we've got Rubik's telekinesis as well. That is going to become very dangerous, especially when you've got the non-stop decay spam being thrown there. See Nexus, he's losing health rapidly. This does offset his tankiness. He does want to be bulky and tanky and hard to kill, and of course Decay really ruins it. Ice Path thrown out once again, just going to harass, come with me with it. Of course at level 1 it is a flat 100 damage, which is relatively high for a nuke, but of course it does definitely scale off towards the mid-game. 100 damage is not so much then, but in the laning phase when you're just harassing... Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, it will be Freezer versus Sedoi. And, of course, Freezer, he has the advantage here. The Anchor Smash, he is obviously going with an Anchor Smash build. And maxing that out first, he has a huge advantage against poor old Bounty Hunter. Every time Bounty Hunter comes close to CS, Tidehunter just smacks him with his Anchor, and it becomes very, very painful. There's that, oh, that electric pulse as it looks like they're going to pick up Dread. They're going to throw Dread back. There comes the no Avalanche. Come with me, going to save it. There it is. The Avalanche, a body block in there from Screen. Going to try and bring him down here. They need some more attacks. One more hit. Maybe no Dread. Potions up, and he will get away here. The Soul Rip trying to finish him off. Ice Path, well, he gets finished by the Decay. Undying going to get the kill there. As it looks like Queen of Pain also manages to pick up a kill. Chen comes down to contest for the... Oh, actually, no, sorry. Chen killing Queen of Pain. They contest for the rune, and Stalliana comes out on top. So 2 kills here for Absolute Legends, 1 kill for AL. Also, Windrunner getting picked off there during that fray. I think it was Windrunner who got picked off. Let me just double check. She did indeed. She got picked off. She did help with the kill. That's how Queen of Pain went down. Chen assisted Windrunner in that, just getting the revenge kill. Oh, goddamn, okay. Apparently the patch was only 6.75, and it's only on the test client. My bad, guys. My bad. Now I feel like a complete clown. Brilliant. You see the Ice Path come out there. It's Dread now instant trouble. They're going to throw for the gank. No, they decide not to go for it. Come With Me did have the avalanche up. Could have moved in for the toss backwards, but decided not to gun for it. Of course, there are a few creep in the way. It would have been slightly difficult to get in there. You see the dual breath up there as well. Telekinesis is going to go for Nexus Decay once again. He pops out the Electric Tide. He will get away though, just as it looks like Sar also falling quite low. The Radiant side being forced to potion up. Ice Path once again going to hit Come With Me. They don't have mana. He doesn't have mana for a dual breath though. Solo now has picked up, has got his bottle up and running. I assume Queen of Pain hasn't quite, no, it's probably actually being sent back in. As we see, jumps in for the Scream, actually going to chase him back again, harassing with that Shadow Strike. Meanwhile, up in the top lane, they are clashing once again. Some harassment being thrown out there from Come With Me. Just some auto attack harassing is lower mana at the moment. I don't think anybody's managed to pick up anything to help him out. I'm just looking for a Ring Basilius. Nobody having managed to pick that up yet. Meanwhile, it looks like Chen is rolling top, has picked himself up a haste at the Illusion Room. Come With Me now being driven back there. Ice Path once again. Centaur threatening them from behind, but they will back off in time. Probably seeing Chen move up to the top there from that ward. Sedoi now copying another Anchor Smash to the face. Not a lot he can do about that. Come With Me as well. Moving straight, he's ready. He's just manning up there, moving and slapping him around with his Pimpan. He's going to throw down the Tombstone, but really not having a huge effect. That was a very questionable Tombstone. Actually, Stalliana moving back in. They're just going to farm, but there's a free 70 gold. Not the best of Tombstones from screen. Come With Me, though. Oh, gets nuked there by a neutral creep. That actually does a fair bit of damage. Also gets clipped there by Dread. And they are trying to chase off Chen. Chen, they're going to be able to get away. The Telekinesis being thrown in there. Nexus coming back in. They're going to keep harassing Scream. There we go. He's going to use the Static Link. They're going to steal a lot of damage. How much? He's up to 28, 55 at the moment. Up to 56 there. And there we go. Right now he's effectively carrying a double damage from a level 1 Static Link, and it looks like the Radiant Triumph being driven back here. It's not really being that effective as far as I can tell. Well, aside from the fact, it is in one respect. It's not picking up kills, but it is completely messing with Nexus's ability to farm. 7 and 4. He's getting absolutely no farm up there. Green now. No, he's not getting that much farm either. Tidehunter though, this is going to be the power hitter in the mid game at the moment. He is getting that cash up. 30 CS for 5 at the moment. He's definitely having a very easy time. Uh-oh, Vigos now in some serious trouble. Windrunner charging it with man. The Windrunner as well. Going to get into position. She's got a power shot ready. She's going to fire through quickly. Just popping through a very slow channel on that power shot, of course. You can pop it off quite quickly with cancel. Does lower the damage, but of course on that low amount of health, Queen of Pain, a very easy target there. Freezer now, we see he has picked up his Arcane Boots, of course. They are very, very effective for that Tidehunter. Does need it quite badly, of course. He is very mana hungry and does not naturally have the high mana pool that he requires. Rubik again about to harass Solo here. They might be looking for a kill. Queen of Pain's moving in as well. As here comes the Couriers. They're going to get picked off. No, we'll duck away for a second there. Now Windrunner going to try and get away. Gets picked up by the Telekinesis. Thrown up on the high ground. Chen can actually send her home though if he wants to. Chen though getting nuked. The Queen of Pain getting the ult down. However, they're cleaning up the Rubik as well. And now Queen of Pain being forced to back off by the creep. Jumping back over. Solo is still stuck over here and deciding, you know what? While I'm up here, I may as well farm the neutral camp. Although gets screamed again by Queen of Pain. She's pretty much out of mana as she pops the magic wand plus the bottle charge. She might have enough. Solo actually taking a fair bit of damage there from the... Oh, no, she's not that much. Taking very little. Of course, this creep hit for practically nothing. And she's just going to chuck a couple of auto attacks up there. In fact, she's got the high ground vision. The ward's still up there.
The best teacher. Giving
line of sight to Windrunner. Windrunner getting cleaned up nice and easy for her. And a double kill there for Queen of Pain. A 2-for-1 trade. I think Rubik will be happy with that. So we'll bring up the gold chart, see who's got the advantage here at the moment. It is pretty much even Stevens in terms of gold, but experience, here we go. The Radiants are falling behind, and I believe this is mostly because Chen is in the jungle sapping up that experience. There we go, they're going to decay and then pull Dread back with the Telekinesis. A couple more auto attacks is going to hurt quite a bit. The boot should allow Screen to chase him down. Ice Path dodges, so Static Link going to try and bring him down there. Walks into a split second on the Ice Path there. Decay will finish off his target, but he's going to feed Razor a kill here. I think Rubik will be... not Rubik. Jakiro will be okay with that. Meanwhile, Queen of Pain getting taken out again by Solo. Buys back. It is a cheap buyback. A double kill for Nexus, who picks up a kill in the top lane. Rubik getting cleaned up. And Queen of Pain buys back, heads top. Can they set up a kill here? Razor, nope, he's static link just ending there. Gets to slow the Avalanche as well. Going to toss a creep on top. Scream as well. It looks like Razor about to get cleaned up here. The DOT cleans him off before he was trying to get to this neutral creep camp here to get cleaned up. And denied by them. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, looks like Seto looking for a kill here. Both of them have been marked by track. And they're worth a lot of money. They can find it. Shuriken there on top of... Oh, Rubik going to try and get away here. They throw out the Fade Bolt once again. Solo taking a lot of damage to Gush as well. Wow, he is actually about to die.
Top tower is under
Popping all of his bottle charges. Then nobody able to intercept though. Meanwhile, a potential fight on top. Chen about to take a lot of damage. Pops down his own. The zombies are out. The zombies are here. They're all over Stalliana. He will pop their hand of God. Can they take out Vigos? Vigos drops as well. Chen gets the experience. And then Undying finishes Chen with the help of Razor there, managing to snag Moscow 5 the experience for Chen before he dies. And it looks like Seto now moving in to try and slow down Screen. Screen though backing off. We've also got Dread here as well. The Ice Path influential in shutting down Pain during that fight. As it looks like now the counter attack here from the Radiant side. Razor popping his nukes there. Ice Path catching both heroes. Macro Pie, they're stuck in it. And Net a stun there from the Centaur. They toss Razor on top of Screen. Screen finishes him with a Soul Rip. And there's the Ravage as well. They're going to try and finish Dread. Dread possibly regretting this quite a lot. Anchor Smash going to pop out in 2 seconds. Pops another Dual Breath. Will they get Freezer? Freezer goes, but not before taking Dread with him. Whenever comes Seto. Seto gets hit by a Scream. He's falling low. The Shackle Shot comes out. It only hits a tree though. Screen somewhat stuck. But Seto now slowed. There's the Decay as well, and they lose the Bounty Hunter. Once again, non-stop action up in this top lane. 10 for 10 on the kill board, but they're going to try and make it 11 for 10. AL going to try and take the lead. Shackle Shot doesn't latch to anything, but the tower still causing some damage. Rubik is back in the top lane, and they will cause Absolute Legends to back off. And again, I think this is one still neck and neck. We see the Radiant just back and forth there in the gold chart still. Chen going to send Windrunner home. Meanwhile, experience-wise, it's going back and forth once again. The Radiant side drawing it back to their favor once again. Still somewhat ahead, though. Slightly. Still neck and neck. That said, though, of course, we've got to consider the fact that at the moment, neck and neck is okay for Moscow 5. Absolute Legends have a bit of a ticking time bomb. They need to get this game done. Unless Queen of Pain gets a stupid amount of farm, which she's only 41 and 7. She's not that farm. Unless Queen of Pain really manages to get quite ahead of them. As that said, they may be. Macropire comes out. Nexus taking a lot of damage. The Ice Path might slow down. The DOT, though, will finish Nexus there. And Queen of Pain running for her life here. She may not realise she's tracked. The Janata going to hit her. Looks like they're going to dive back in. Zombies are there. They can heal her up with the Soul Rip if necessary. The Ice Path gets thrown out once again. Vigos Vergo. Janata Shuriken as well. They're going to try and clean up. They do finish her off. Queen of Pain gets taken out. Seto now trying to run. He's got it. No, he's got the Windwalk. He will escape here. Titan and no Ravage for 50 seconds. But I suppose there is the fact though, they have delayed Nexus's farm by quite a bit. So Queen of Pain is relatively ahead of that. So in that situation, going into the late game right now is actually going to favour AL if they can keep this kind of lead on, not overall lead against the team, but the lead against the Razor. Moscow 5 don't really have another viable late game hero. Maybe Windrunner. Maybe Windrunner. Of course, we've seen Dandy and Yamato farm their Windrunner like crazy. At the same time, though, Freezer now getting hit by the Ice Path Dual Breath as well. They will dive too far, giving away another kill. 12 and 12 on the kill board, neck and neck once again. Screen now throwing down the Decay. Dread taking a lot of damage here. He's going to keep hitting him. Ice Path will hit Screen. He's got Tombstone up in a second. Traps him. Macro Pie, Dual Breath as well. That does so much damage, and a clean up with Power Shot. And Jakiro, 900 gold in the bank. Looks like he's bringing himself a... Looks like he's grabbing himself an urn. Port on top. And they finish up. Tiny as well. Tiny dives in too far. Gets hit by a Shackle. Of course, Shackle, an incredibly powerful stun. Star now in so much trouble. Gets slowed by the Windrun. And I think Windrun is going to finish him with auto attack shots because she can. Oh, she's also got a haste rune as well. There is no escape there, not a chance. Queen of Pain now trying to finish her boots up. She should be able to finish her boots. Let's check the overall GPMs. Queen of Pain, 370. And you compare that to Razor. Razor's sitting on 213. Unless he can somehow find a huge acceleration in terms of farm, he is going to struggle in this late game against Vigos. If Vigos keeps up this rate of farm, that said, Windrunner is not doing too bad for herself. Unless she goes for some straight damage items. If she just goes for some regular... support up, she just goes for the Force Staff and sort of maybe goes into a Hex. She's not going to have that amount of raw damage. If Queen of Pain just goes for a damage item, BKB and a damage item, she will definitely sort of managed to overpower. Uh-oh. Oh, crap. That's not a good sign. It looks like it was just me. Okay, we're fine. Of course, there have been some issues with the servers today, so if we have any hiccups, technical hiccups, I do apologize. Ice path thrown out. Doesn't quite clip them. They are going to come in here, going for the knife, going to try and chase. This is a great horse in the back here. Windrunner, though, getting combo there. Ravage counterattack. They're inside the macro pie. They get the kill on Windrunner. Nuke's being popped out from Razor. Hasn't got his ult yet. Still hasn't decided to level that one up yet. Static Link now on screen as they're going to try and pick up Seto. Seto taking a lot of damage. Down goes to Kuro. Queen of Pain jumps in there, finishes. Who did she grab? I think she managed to kill Razor. Finished him there with a Sonic Wave. Comes in again. Going to scream down Seto. They get the kill on the tower as well. A 5-for-1 trade. That was not a good result for Moscow 5. Moscow 5 with a great plan there. They jumped in with the ports, shielded up there. They jumped in with the ports, tried to force Absolute Legends off the tower. Jumped in with the ports. They were trying to go for the deny there. Unfortunately, the counterattack from Absolute Legends was absolutely fantastic. Came in there with the stuns, particularly the Ravage. Turned that fight around. Queen of Pain coming at the last second. Nukes all over the show. And Moscow 5 did not stand a chance in that fight at all. And we see here that was a sharp jump. Look at that. Tower kill plus a 5-man wipe. 3k gold lead from neck and neck to a 3k plus gold lead. That is not healthy at all. And there we go. A 2k. Wow. Drawing back that experience lead as well. You see that as well. 2.5k deficit to a 2k lead. So that's solo. They're going to pop Hand of God. Screen about to regret life. Gets caught inside a macro pie. Power shot to boot. Screen regretting diving in that deep. Angling himself with the trees underneath the tower. Macro bar definitely is a hell of a damage dealer. I'm somewhat surprised Razor not bothering with his ultimate at all. As he said, I guess he decided, you know what, I really want that static link maxed. Might just check net worth here. Tide Hunter is the #1 farmer at the moment. 5k. And there we go. There's that Hood of Defiance. It's going to be turned into a pipe fairly soon. If not, I think he's just finished the Hood. Now then, Queen of Pain a little bit behind Windrunner. I think she thought I was under the impression that she was ahead, but no, it looks like she's going for the early arguments here. And the stun there on Seto. The ultimate nuke is going to come out here. No ult from Queen of Pain. She doesn't have it available. And Tiny did not get the wombo combo down. Unfortunately, it grabs a creep there. Screen now has picked up his arcane boots.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Looks like he's decided 2 levels of decay is enough, maxing out the Solent now as well. Now they're going to jump in on top of they're still looking for the kill here instead. Gets healed up by the Urn. Dread there jumping into his 80s teammate out of Urn charges now. Will need to pick up a kill fairly soon. And now it looks like they're going to try and jump down the screen there. The stun from Tiny. The toss as well, and they will take him out. Macro pie being thrown down. Doesn't really hit anybody there. Dual breath on screen. Screen now trying to disengage here. A stomp from Chen. A chain stomp as well. Not even necessary. Now Moscow 5 going to give chase here. Seto has tracked up. Come with me. Can they bring him down? A shackle shot on Sar. The track up on Sar. There's a nice 3-man track kill. And it looks like they might still be able to bring down Come With Me yet. Or even Freezer. He's used the static link. Going to pin down Freezer with the ice path as well. A lot of damage being drained there from Razor. 140, 168, 96. Going for the 225, 224 there. And he's hitting like a Mack truck. The nukes there from Razor. Oh wow, no, actually the ice looks like the heals from there aren't going to be enough to keep the Tide Hunter alive, although they finish off the Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter gets under the tower and gets cleaned up by Come With Me. Come With Me, though, still getting cleaned up on top of that. But he did get the last laugh there. Granted, though, if it was a track kill, Bounty Hunter came out ahead. And of course, track kills actually do put you in this interesting situation where trading kills, not such a bad thing. See, Rubik has managed to steal that power shot. Razor just gets flanked and destroyed there by Absolute Legend. The ult out from Screen. Screen can give chase. The zombies also giving chase. And now Drake getting boxed in there in the trees. Gets cleaned up fairly easily. Way too many heroes for him to deal with. Of course, the poor old support hero. Windrunner still has 4 stuff up. Unlikely to be able to catch her. Vigos looks like he's still working on that. Looks like he's still working on that Argon himself. Meanwhile, the port's coming in mid. They're going to try and stop Chen. The stun comes out and misses, so toss will hit him. Doesn't actually throw him back. I figured he would have tossed him back to his teammates. Looks like it won't matter too much, so they're just going to jump in, chase him down, nuke him down. One of the things Tiny could have done is just grab him and hurl him backwards. That actually would have been more effective.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Going to see Setoi there, as it looks like Setoi's still farming the bottom lane. That's, oh wow, Solo gets picked up, telekinesis chucked on the spot. He's now trying to get the hell away. There's the Soul Rip once again, the steal there from Rubik. I think he got yes, he did get Windrunner. No mana to use it though, so he won't be able to slow down the Windrunner with that. Ice Path thrown for good measure, although Queen of Pain ducks out there. Tiny now jumps in. He's going to try and take out Dread. The stun down on Dread with the Avalanche. Static Link, though, going to try and steal as much as he can. Only gets 28 bonus damage there. And now Setoi's in the middle of this fight, looking for someone to pick off with the track. The zombies have been thrown down. There's a tombstone. It's being farmed, though. They will clean up for a bonus. 130 gold. Toss in there from Freezer. Freezer, though, doesn't have his ult up. Well, he's got the ult up. Doesn't have mana for it, rather. The shield has been thrown. Glyph's thrown up. Can they get the denied? Or Rubik will take the kill. And now Razor finally has his ult, using that right now. And it looks like Absolute Legends will decide to back off. Stalliona popping back in there. His mech is ready to go if they need the heal. Steroid does have a double damage, and if he can get the hit on someone, a 450 damage crit at the moment. Also working towards his own BKB by looks of things, pretty stock standard stuff. Queen of Pain's considering jumping in and comboing someone with a nuke. Solo is definitely vulnerable. There we go, she's going to go for Solo. Ults him as well. Nice clean up there from Queen of Pain.
That was the sound of your death.
You see Tight Under, though, spiraling out of control here. 7k gold lead at the moment. Has he picked up his pipe? Yes, pipe is done and dusted. Porting up to the top lane. Razor, though, just got, and, well, whatever it was cheap and crappy. It looks like he's, yeah, he is so far behind. Bottom of the pack there, 3k. He's barely ahead of the Radiant supports. That's how underfarmed he is. And in this case, going to the late game, not going to be an issue for Queen of Pain. She would be able to handle him quite effectively at this rate. And now Dread about to regret coming into his own jungle. He's about to get cleaned up here. I don't think there's much he can do to get away from this unless he can throw in the Ice Bar. It does catch Vigos on the back. Oh wow! They mentioned the macro part and reinforcements arrive. And they take out Rubik. Kuro being a big bait there as it looks like Titan's moving in. Titan, does he have a Ravage up? Yes, he does. Pops a Ravage. It hits Chen, hits Bounty Hunter, doesn't quite get Dread. Dread is going for the save, though, with the Ice Path. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be enough as Tiny's now charging. It looks like he's going for the Argument Scepter. Has managed to pick himself up a Blade of Alacrity. See, Screen has also gone for a health booster there in the form of Vitality booster. Just wants that raw HP. Meanwhile, though, Absolute Legends pushing this mid tower, 29 and 21, and they are pulling ahead there. 5k plus gold lead, experience up to 7.5k, and that's more important at this point. I still say at the 20-minute mark, the experience lead is more important. He knows level 2 ults. Of course, Ravage hitting level 2, Queen of Pain hitting level 2 and ult is way more important right now than huge items on the heroes. That said, the pipe on Titan is definitely going to work wonders. They've also... Do they have a mech yet? And the Queen of Pain now jumping Solo. Solo now being slow. Going to hit that Windrun. Going to get tossed back. The stun not hitting her though. The Avalanche looks like a miss there. She gets cleaned up though by the mass nukes. The Ice Path comes through for the save. A little bit too late though. And I don't think anybody has a mech. No, they do not. The Radiant side are lacking a mech. Of course, they do have the pipe. The Dice side at the moment looks like they've only got the mech. They don't have the pipe. Yeah, there we go. Jakura has opened up with the... negative armor again from the Medallion of Courage, and of course that does stack with Razor's ultimate quite nicely. A macro pyre thrown in for good measure, gets tossed back though by the telekinesis. Also Tiny moving in there for good measure. Mass nukes being tossed in on him, and he really just came way too close. Tombstone thrown up preemptively, going to try and hold off this creep. You see those zombies as Tsar has managed to steal himself a level 4 dual breath. You see Setoi now copping some nukes. They're going to try and turn around Vigos, though. It doesn't look like he's winning this. The ult comes out from Vigos, goes invisible. Queen of Pain, though, just going to try and chase and scream at random points. So she blinks forward, looking at the rune here. Doesn't have Scream for another second, so she won't just pop it again. Setoi, though, taking a lot of damage from that DOT. He's got 2 bottle charges, though. Meanwhile, Razor porting out. Chen now trying to farm. Tsar, though, will need to watch out. He's alone here at the moment. Windrunner as well as Chen could quite easily pick him up. He lines himself up a tree. The Shackle goes out, latches as well. He gets a steal there on Shackle, and he will get beaten up. Right now, Vigos is just picking up... Oh, no, actually, no. He's just picked up the point booster as a raw health and mana booster, and it looks like he's going for the Hex next. He will not be finishing off that Argonim Scepter. At the moment, Moscow 5, if they want to stay in this, they really need to get some map control back. They are really not having much control of their own side of the map, as it looks like absolutely just can freely move around wherever they please. Oh, the shackle shot goes down, pins two heroes. Macro Pie gets popped down, but it's not doing much damage to Frieza. His pipe is really managed to defend him there. They pop out the Ravage. It hits Chen, hits Razor, doesn't quite get Solar. The Static Link being popped, pops his ultimate now. Iverstorm is going to try and clean him up. He's doing a lot of damage there, going right through the pipe, but he himself is taking critical damage. It will get cleaned up. They are trapped in with the creep though, and a GG well played from Moscow 5, 23-minute GG. Absolute legends. Tied up one apiece here. A nice comeback there from Absolute Legends. They just, it's just night and day the way that this match is now. Absolute Legends this time, they didn't have a really weak early game, and that was a huge factor in their first game. Their early game sucked. They had no lane control whatsoever. Moscow 5 just walked all over them, never gave them any chance to breathe. And the same thing happened here. Absolute Legends just took control of the match early on, made sure Razor did not get any farm whatsoever. You see that with Razor, his net worth, or was actually, I think he's possibly sold all his items. Oh, it's just a leaving thing. We can bring up his gold per minute here. You see Razor, his gold per minute has not gone above 250 all match. He just had no way to get any money at all. The aggressive trial and shut him down very nicely. In fact, like Void last match got more farm than he did. And then on top of it, Queen of Pain, Vigos did fairly well for himself. They had a few clashes in the mid. You know, he traded the kills, so he never really got stomped in his mid lane. Even though he got killed, he took Windrunner with him before he got killed. And I think it just came down to the fact that Chen spent a lot of time in the jungle, and the aggressiveness that Undying, Tiny, and Rubik could put out. Just Jakiro could not match that with Razor's help. It was a 2v3 situation for too long. Chen was just unable to help there. They wanted to go for that push. I really think they wanted to push down that tower early, but the aggressive trial that Absolute Legends picked up was a great counter there. Anyway, guys, this has been Game 2, Absolute Legends versus Moscow 5. We will be going to Game 3 in about 5 minutes. We will go to a short commercial break, so go and grab a drink, grab a snack, whatever. We will be taking a short break. But stay tuned. Game number 3, the decider, will be played very shortly.